ticking and it's ticking fast. We've had enough, this greed can't last. So count your days. You raise the price, but the vibe ain't right. Monthly subscription bills on repeat. Prices rise, but the pay don't change. We're stuck in the middle of a losing game. Count your days. Your game's exposed, the whole world knows your time is up, no more to say. Claiming inflation, but we see the play. How much more do we have to pay? Count your days.
Hey tea sippers, I hope you guys are doing good today. It's time for another episode of Count Your Days.
Count your fucking days, bitch.
Count your days, bitch. So it is a lot going on. Before, when I started this Count Your Days series, it was mainly about businesses that were doing too much, you know what I'm saying, corporate greed and such. But now it's seeming like a lot of other things are being counted, like our freedom of speech, okay? It's almost like count your days until freedom of speech is no longer free for anybody. So what's going down is this. So last Friday, Brian Kilmeade was on Fox News, and they were doing a segment talking about Irina, the young Ukrainian woman who was stabbed to death on the train in Charlotte, which is just horrific if you watch the video. This woman did absolutely nothing wrong. She was coming home from work, and then some lunatic stabbed her. So during their segment, Brian Kilmeade made a very crazy statement. He basically stated that if you're unwilling to take the services that the Trump administration is trying to give to the homeless people, that you should just be voluntarily injected with poison and killed. In not so many words, you know what I mean? Let me let him say it in his own words, because you know I probably added a little bit of sauce by adding poison to it, but we get what he's trying to say. Y'all go ahead and check this out.
They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right.
All right, so that's the clip, him saying that, you know, they basically should be subjected to involuntary injections that kill people. So that was very disturbing. A lot of people are really upset about that. But of course, you know, it's Fox News, you know, freedom for me, but not for thee. So basically that went viral. People were upset, but nothing was done. And then what ended up happening is that over the weekend, after he made his comments, not one, but two, okay? Two mass shootings happened in my city of Minneapolis at homeless encampments. You can't make this mess up. So this was, again, 3 weeks ago, we had the school shooting that happened here in Minneapolis. And then now, just, 3-4 days ago, was the mass shooting at these homeless encampments. So we're going to go ahead and watch that news clip now.
We are following a developing story this morning as police remain on the scene of a mass shooting at a homeless encampment in Minneapolis.
Police say 8 people are hurt at this point, 4 of them with life-threatening injuries, and the city says it will clear out that encampment as soon as possible. Saquon joins us live there from the scene with the very latest. Good morning, Say.
Hey, good morning to you. Yeah, we're at this homeless encampment right now, and this is how active it is even hours after that shooting. I'll step out of the way so you can see for yourself. This whole area by the encampment here is blocked off by police. You can see, of course, police officers still on scene this morning. The forensic team right now is collecting evidence, and once they're done with that, the city's going to send in some crews to shut down this area for good. Keep in mind, this has been another busy day for Minneapolis police, with this shooting happening just 12 hours after another shooting just blocks away where 5 other people were hurt.
You know, it's been a lot of violence lately, and we just want our community to know that we are not going to give up, and that we will continue to fight so that every person in this city can be safe.
The shooting at this encampment happened just after 10 o'clock last night near 28th and East Lake Street in the Longfellow neighborhood. It's unclear at this point what led up to the gunfire, but police say they believe it was a shootout between at least 2 people. Police say 5 men and 3 women were shot. 3 of the men and 1 woman have life-threatening injuries. The other 4 victims are expected to survive. We also know some tents started on fire after this shooting, and firefighters were also called in to put out these flames.
We have tried to clear this encampment on multiple occasions. We were met with resistance by the property owner. It made it very difficult, both from a practical as well as a legal perspective. And so ultimately, we moved forward with a public health nuisance order. And that is the litigation that is moving forward now. And
This encampment is on land owned by a man named Hamoudi Sabri, who, as the mayor mentioned there, has refused to shut it down for months, leading to a lawsuit from the city. So far, no arrests have been made. We are still working to learn exactly when this encampment will be cleared out today. We do know, according to the mayor, that this will be cleared out once the investigation is over.
All right, so you guys just saw that video about the shooting that happened in Minneapolis. Like I said, it was 2 of them that happened. So then later on that week, Jimmy Fallon, cracked a joke and people deemed it very insensitive towards Trump and Charlie Kirk and everything else. And he was literally canned. Not even a few hours after he said his joke on air. So this has been causing a lot of controversy. People on the left were super upset. People on the right were cheering it on. So it's just crazy. And then there was even a shooting yesterday that happened at the ABC headquarters. So I'm going to go ahead and play this news clip.
Now to the fierce reaction tonight with Disney ABC suspending late night host Jimmy Kimmel, quote, indefinitely. After pressure from the Trump administration, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr appointed by President Trump and his threat after Kimmel's comments after Charlie Kirk's death, calling on stations not to carry Kimmel. Well, tonight, outrage from some saying this is caving to political pressure and an assault on free speech. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze tonight.
Tonight, the decision to indefinitely suspend Jimmy Kimmel Live, a show that's been running for more than 20 years, is sparking a fierce debate. Disney ABC pulling the late night show off the air last night after pressure from the Trump administration, following Kimmel's comments during his opening monologue Monday about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, who was appointed by President Trump, blasting Kimmel's comments on a conservative podcast Wednesday, accusing Kimmel of misrepresenting the ideology of Kirk's killer and saying local broadcasters should stop airing Kimmel's show.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Hours later, Nexstar and Sinclair, 2 of the biggest owners of network TV affiliates, said they would not air Kimmel's show. Nexstar is in merger talks with another media company in a deal that would require Brendan Carr's approval at the FCC. Disney ABC then pausing Kimmel's show indefinitely, drawing outrage from some who say this is caving to political pressure and that this is about protecting freedom of speech. This was not the first time Kimmel addressed Kirk's murder, posting on Instagram just hours after Kirk was shot, "Can we just for one day agree that it is horrible and monstrous to shoot another human? On behalf of my family, we send love to the Kirks and to all the children, parents, and innocents who fall victim to senseless gun violence." Tonight, President Trump, on his return from the state visit in the UK, now suggesting the FCC should take licenses away from broadcasters that are repeatedly critical of him.
They give me only bad publicity or press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr.
A move that would be at odds with an executive order the president signed on day 1 in office, pledging to protect free speech.
And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
Kimmel's suspension comes just months after CBS announced it was canceling the Stephen Colbert Show, CBS saying it was purely a financial decision. But Colbert, like Kimmel, was a vocal critic of President Trump. And overnight, the president suggesting NBC go after its late-night hosts Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers, posting, "Do it, NBC."
David, no word tonight from our parent company, Disney ABC, about Jimmy.
Is intensifying across the country tonight, 2 days after ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely. Kimmel and ABC executives met today, but reportedly did not come to a resolution. It is unclear if he will return to late-night TV.
Meantime, other late-night hosts and many lawmakers on Capitol Hill are reacting to the shocking suspension, calling it an attack on free speech. John Fenolio is live in the KTLA News Center with the latest on the growing debate. John?
Yeah, Sharon, Micah, that that debate over free speech is falling along party lines. President Trump tonight saying he thinks it should be illegal for TV networks to air content that's unfavorable to him. However, some prominent Republicans are warning that using the government to censor free speech.
What in the Kim Jong-un is going on here? What? Speech that's unfavorable towards him? Wow.
Is a mistake.
Tonight, bullet holes mark the entrance to Sacramento's ABC TV affiliate. Police say someone drove up and fired several shots into the lobby before speeding away. No one was harmed, and it's unclear if this was a random or targeted attack. But it comes as tensions escalate over ABC's suspension of Jimmy Kimmel, following his on-air comments in the wake of the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
What's happening to Jimmy Kimmel should scare each and every one of us. This is an attack on democracy.
From Hollywood to New York.
When freedom of speech is under attack, what do?
Intense reaction over what many say is an assault on the First Amendment, but not from the White House. Vice President J.D. Vance posting, "The bellyaching from the left over free speech after the Biden years fools precisely no one." Disney-owned ABC pulled Kimmel's show off the air Wednesday after pressure from the Trump administration, specifically FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, who indicated on a conservative podcast that he would revoke ABC's broadcast license if they did not take action against Kimmel. Carr telling Fox News yesterday Kimmel's suspension may not be the last.
Look, we're going to continue to hold these broadcasters accountable to the public interest. And if broadcasters don't like that, simple solution, they can turn their license into the FCC. There's other things that we can do with it.
However, not all Republicans are on board.
What he said there is dangerous as hell.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz breaking with the president, saying that using government power to force Kimmel off the air is a mistake.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, "Nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it." If the government gets in the business of saying, we don't like what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like, that will end up bad for conservatives.
President Trump tonight again suggesting the FCC strip broadcast networks of their licenses for airing content unfavorable to him.
They'll take a great story and they'll make it bad. See, I think that's really illegal, personally. You can't have a free airwave.
Other late-night hosts now standing up for Kimmel.
That is blatant censorship.
I do know Jimmy Kimmel, and he's a decent, funny, and loving guy, and I hope he comes back.
It is a privilege and an honor to call Jimmy Kimmel my friend.
Variety is reporting that Kimmel and Disney executives will meet again to try and reach some kind of compromise to bring his show back. Kimmel was suspended indefinitely on Wednesday. He has not been fired. He has also not spoken publicly since
So
then.
as you guys see, I'm watching these. These are my first reactions, my live reactions. It is insane what's going on right now, you know, especially being that he championed freedom of speech. And the right is always talking about free speech. And, you know, like I've said before, the pendulum swings both ways. You had a lot of left people, you know, in the past demanding people get fired from their jobs and, you know, the feelings police, as I like to call them, not all leftists, but, you know, just people who constantly getting their feelings over anything they don't like. And so now the pendulum is swinging, okay, both ways. I don't like it personally. I don't like it. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to go to TikTok, see what folks are saying. Because what I find very interesting is that it was swiftly done for Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel didn't say anything about killing anybody. He didn't co-sign the killing. But Brian Kilmeade literally said that people should be involuntarily injected. And he still has a job. So a lot of people are pointing out that hypocrisy. People are definitely feeling away. So we're going to go ahead and see people's reactions on TikTok now.
Remember this from Friday?
Involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill him.
Well, since then, we've had a person in Vicksburg, Mississippi being hung, a homeless person. And then we have this. 2 mass shootings in Minneapolis homeless encampments on the same fucking day. So Fox News, I ask again, how the fuck does Brian Kilmeade still have a fucking job?
I don't know if everybody else heard, but I'm just now hearing that there was a shooting at a homeless encampment down there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with 12 people injured and 4 people suffering life-threatening injuries. They are also saying that a news anchor at Fox News said that why don't people just go out there and shoot them, and then somebody went out there and literally shot up a homeless encampment. And the motherfucker being on a news station saying something like that definitely needs to be fired and held accountable for this. People shouldn't even be having to advocate for him to be fired. Fox News should have already fired him the moment that them words left his motherfucking mouth. Now they saying that they finna clear out and make everybody move from that homeless encampment down there and shut it down, as if it's the homeless fault down there that somebody decided to be sick enough to go shoot up that encampment. As if the homeless don't already suffer enough and have to deal with enough problems. They gotta worry about somebody stopping and shooting up where they sleeping? What kind of excitement, kick, and or adrenaline rush can somebody get for causing harm to somebody that's already down at the bottom? Our homeless is already struggling and fighting each and every day to stay alive. Hell, they gotta struggle and fight to find food to eat. They also saying that it was multiple shootings at these homeless encampments down there in Minneapolis and nobody has been arrested. This is super sad, foul, and fucked up, and I'm truly hoping that they find the person or the people responsible for this immediately, if not sooner. Any and everybody in Minneapolis need to be worried because nobody is motherfucking safe with these motherfuckers on the loose. If they willing to shoot up a homeless encampment, what else are they willing to do? Schools, hospital, churches, police buildings. Nobody even knows what they have planned or who else they gonna target. They need to do a thorough investigation and they need to do it quick because they don't need somebody like this on the loose because who knows what they gonna hit next. I just want to stop, send prayers and love down there to Minneapolis to our brothers and sisters in our communities down there. It's been a lot of stuff going on down there in Minneapolis, and I'm truly hoping that people start making better decisions and people stay safe down there. Especially for our homeless brothers and sisters, because where are they going to be able to hide to be able to stay safe from some shit like this?
He says some real powerful stuff, and it is scary. You know, I live here in the Twin Cities. There's been a lot going on. You know, and what's sad about this is it just shows you, I feel, that a lot of people, you know, I just got to keep it real. You know, let me say my little freedom of speech real quick. A lot of people don't like poor people. Let's keep it real. A lot of these comments that are coming from places like Fox News and other places, they're coming from a level of elitism, okay? I myself, I've been homeless before. I know, shocker, right? Many people have had to be homeless before, live in their cars, couch surf, live outside. You know what I'm saying? When you are homeless, you don't have a place to call your own. And that can happen to anybody. You can fall on bad luck. It could just be, you know, you're trying to move to another city, another town, and you're trying to find a change of scenery. And at that point, you don't have a place to live. So it is like, it's very disturbing how people just act like homeless people are not even human. Like, at this point, they're just an eyesore. And I get it. Nobody wants to be, you know, shopping on Melrose and you see a big homeless tent. You know, you don't want to be walking down the street in San Francisco and they're just homeless people in front of stores. A lot of stores have had to close down because of the homeless. But nobody's looking at the bigger issue. Because years ago when I was growing up, there wasn't homeless people just on the streets of Minneapolis. One, it gets really cold out here, right? So there were shelters for them. There were all types of programs. I remember us being in the 3rd or 4th grade and our school took us to the homeless shelter. And we got to meet with homeless people and talk to them and feed them. I used to volunteer at the Dorothy Day Center in downtown St. Paul and feed the homeless, okay? And I did that even as recently as 2 years ago. Sometimes I'll just call and be like, hey, can I come down and volunteer sometime this week? They always love for people to come. Go give out clothes, feed, all types of stuff. A lot of these programs are not even around anymore, sadly. And this is why a lot of people are being forced into the street 24/7, because a lot of shelters are closing down, the funding is not there, things are being cut. So it's deeper than somebody just deciding, hey, I don't want to take your services, I want to live out here. If most people had the choice, they would not live on the street. You have some people who choose to be homeless and want to live on the street and be antisocial. But for the average person who's homeless, it's because they've fallen on hard times. They don't have family. They don't have the funds. They can't find a job. Remember, let's not forget that we are living in one of the most biggest job recessions that's going on right now. People are applying for work at the most basic places, fast food, and they're not getting a call back. People are being laid off left and right. AI is taking over the industry. So, there's a reason why the homelessness is escalating. Rent has gone up. The interest rates are sky high to buy a home. Now they're talking about dropping the interest rates because nobody has bought homes really in 2024, 2025. People can't afford it. So now they're having to drop the interest rate somewhat. So again, the reason why there's homeless people is because of all of these things that are going on right now in society. People can barely afford to feed themselves, let alone have a roof over their head. So to just say they need to be forcibly injected and killed because they're homeless, but you don't know their back situation is insane. That is crazy. Nobody's excusing what that black man did to the young Ukrainian girl. I watched that. I was sick to my stomach. That was demonic what he did. I haven't seen anybody excusing that. So to act like he's just, the face of homelessness is insane. He's not the face of homelessness. He's the face of one man. He's the face of one evil person who has schizophrenia and a bunch of other shit wrong with him. So it's just really disturbing that that's the rhetoric that's being stated on Fox News. But let's continue.
It's very strange to me that we had a homeless man get lynched in Mississippi, and now we had a mass shooting at a fucking homeless encampment in Minneapolis. I'm probably saying it wrong. People get mad. I don't care. However you say that city. I say it wrong all the time. But a Fox News host, if you hadn't seen the clip, went out and said that maybe we should just give homeless people the lethal injection since they don't want to be fundamental to society. And now 2 acts of crime have hit homeless people. So this is what I mean by, if you use your platform, don't say stupid shit.
Yesterday, a news personality on a network I won't name suggested that the solution to the homeless crisis is to just kill people. Today, a mass shooting at a homeless encampment claimed the lives of 8 people. There will be no fanfare for those people. There will be no military honors. There will be no parades or televised funerals. There will be no outrage from the people about how they had families, about how people might have cared about them, about why they were killed, the senseless tragedy, and how it could have been prevented. They'll barely get a mention, and most people will never know their names. So remember this, if you're outraged about the death of someone else already because of your faith, truly I say unto you, what you do to the least of my brothers, you have done to me. Make sure you hold equal space in your heart for the tragedy that is the marginalized people on the fringes of society left behind by the rest of us, being gunned down simply for existing. And if you truly mean it, when you say nobody deserves this, then I'm sure you'll demand justice for these victims as well.
Of attacks by homeless, mentally ill assailants, including institutionalizing or jailing such people so they cannot attack again. Now, during that discussion, I wrongly said they should get lethal injections. I apologize for that extremely callous remark. I'm obviously aware that not all mentally ill homeless people act as the perpetrator did in North Carolina, and that so many homeless people deserve our empathy and compassion. Of attacks by homeless.
So that was his apology about his comments. People were not buying it. And at this point, people were really upset. And they were calling for Fox News to fire him. People were canceling their Disney subscriptions, Hulu subscriptions, because of them firing Jimmy Kimmel for what he said. But Brian Kilmeade is still on the air.
I'm glad Jimmy Kimmel got canceled because honestly, y'all needed to see a white man be silenced for y'all to get how absolutely fucking ridiculous this is. Y'all loved watching people lose their jobs over their opinions, even though y'all called it cancel culture when y'all were losing your jobs over your racism, which is not an opinion, it's a character flaw, right? Now, let me be clear. I love Jimmy Kimmel. I don't think he deserved to lose his show, but the fact that y'all are now saying, you know what, this is a little ridiculous. Why would they do that to Jimmy Kimmel? Y'all are remembering what happened to free speech. Y'all defended hate speech all the live long fucking day. And then when this happened, everybody all of a sudden was a prude. It was the pearl clutching. It was this, that, and the third. So you know what? I do hope that Jimmy Kimmel gets his show back, whether it be on a different network, whether that means like some I don't know if you can go up against ABC because they got Disney. However, I do think that this is eye-opening for a lot of people. And so if it had to happen, it had to happen. But white people, don't let this go over your head. Say that's a damn shame and move on. Use that fucking fury for something, for fucking once, please.
My only issue with Jimmy Kimmel and this whole brouhaha he finds himself inflamed with is not that, oh my God, you can't say a joke. I am incredibly alarmed by what appears to be our First Amendment rights being attacked. This is what I do for a living. I don't like that. But you know he's coming. And you know part of the reason why is to get back at everybody who tried to take him down. They didn't try to keep him out of the White House and that was it. They tried to throw him in prison. The man is coming. And you have to adjust accordingly. Nexstar has to adjust. All these broadcast corporations have to adjust. Madison Avenue has to adjust. Wall Street has to adjust. Corporate America has to adjust. China's had to adjust. Mexico has had to adjust. France, England, Germany, everybody has to make an adjustment. It's the real world. I don't like it. I'm alarmed by it. I'm scared of it. But I have to march forward.
Okay.
Good morning. I know that everybody has heard about Disney and what's going on over there, right? We've all heard what's happening. But did y'all hear that over the last 2 days, 3 days since all of this started happening, that Disney has lost over $3.87 billion? I can't imagine losing $3.87 right now. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, people are canceling subscriptions. Disney, Hulu, ESPN. I love it. I love it. But I just want to say, y'all remember that story when we were growing up about King Midas, you know, and everything he touched turned to gold? Well, I think we need to start calling Syphilitic Sid King Midas, because everything he touches turns to shit and then disappears.
So this is just letting you know people are not playing. They are canceling their subscriptions. And this is going to have a trickle-down effect because Stephen A. Smith is under ESPN, so this could affect his paycheck as well.
How do you feel about Jimmy Kimmel being taken off the air?
Appalled, disappointed, etc.
Kind of surprised.
A little questionable.
My first thought was, who's next?
I was shocked. I was like, Jimmy Kimmel, out of everybody?
I think it's really unfortunate and I'm sad about it.
People are going to be scared to make jokes or to just critique even just a little bit. And I think it's going to impact everybody.
I don't think making a comment that wasn't based in fact is a good idea, especially about an assassination attempt.
I actually think it's like inconsiderate to like everybody who feel like they have a right to say something important and then lose their job over it.
You know, I mean, I believe in freedom of speech, but I also believe that there is some speech that have consequences.
I tell people every day, if you don't know your history, how do you know where you're going? And 40s and the 50s was not that long ago. And the 60s weren't that long ago. So when we understand history and history repeats itself, we're living in it right now.
So let's see. He didn't end the Ukraine war or solve Gaza within his first week, but he did end freedom of speech within his first year.
If you ain't Jimmy Kimmel, please keep scrolling. Jimmy, if you end up seeing this video, because I know a couple of your celebrity friends follow my posts and liking this, that, and the third. If y'all one of them celebrity friends, send this to Jimmy Kimmel. Do not pay them nothing. Do you hear me? Don't pay them Your show get canceled, Start a podcast or start your own show on YouTube.
Let me get this straight, because since I'm a conservative, I'm dumb, right?
Jimmy Kimmel's employers relieved him of his duty because to them, he was costing them more money than he was making because he's a failed comedian. He's not funny. It costs way too much to produce his sets. And then in return, he's only getting a handful of views. His employer suspended his shows indefinitely. His employers did that. And the left, politicians and influencers are blaming conservatives and Donald Trump, of course. They're saying it's our fault, it's his fault, it's their fault. You know the deal. But this is the part that I don't get, right? Toward the end of Donald Trump's presidency and into the whole term where he was the former president of the United States, he was completely canceled, silenced, lost his Twitter, lost his Instagram, lost his Facebook, all of it, gone, right? The left called for that simply because of mean tweets. Y'all remember that? They celebrated it when he got canceled, right? So, of course, a lot of even the court cases and all of that kind of stuff, we couldn't see or know nothing that was going on unless mainstream media allowed us to see what they doctored and wanted us to see. Oh, but he ain't the only one. Because when Tucker Carlson got released from Fox over pretty much the same kind of complaints, right? They celebrated. They laughed. Matter of fact, Jimmy Kimmel himself laughed about it and talked about it and celebrated it on his show. When Megyn Kelly got fired from doing the same thing, they all fucking celebrated. Mind you, at the time, Megyn Kelly wasn't even leaning too far with the conservative movement. She just was someone who was unapologetically blunt and spoke her truth. Now the left is whining and bitching and screaming, saying, oh, this is the end of free speech. Look at Donald Trump went on bounce back. He created his own platform, Truth Social. He regained his popularity on X and Instagram and all of that. He fought through it. Tucker Carlson created his own network. He's a multi-millionaire because he never cried and whined and rolled over. Megyn Kelly, the same thing. Shit, even bum-ass Don Lemon, he's trying to do the same thing. He's lame, and it's not really working out for him because he is lame. But the point I'm trying to make here is that all these other people bounce back from their downfall, which y'all would say was their own fault, right? Why can't fucking Jimmy Kimmel do the same shit, huh?
Okay, so again, y'all know I'm always going to be fair. I'm going to show both sides on my channel. Now, he's obviously a conservative. I don't know this man. I've never seen him before. But he's not lying about some of the stuff that he's saying. Because this is why I've always said for years on this channel, you know, when you're saying freedom of speech, you have to just be able to eat it. That's why I say a lot of times, a lot of people love getting into the commentary space, right? They love giving their opinions on everything under the sun. You know, they like this, they hate that, you know, whatever. But then as soon as somebody has an opinion on them, they're in their feelings. They want to flag. They want to, you know, report you to YouTube and everything else. And like I said, you can't have commentary on everything under the sun and then get mad when people have opinions of you. I said that time and time again. I'm a very opinionated person. I have an opinion about every damn thing, okay? So when people, you know, say that they don't like me or, you know, they drag me, whatever, I don't give a fuck. I never reply back to them. That is their opinion. Your opinion of me, bitch, is between you and God. I could care less. I don't address people. I state what I state and I let the chips fall where they may, right? That is because, again, you can't say that freedom of speech is okay for you, but not for anybody else. And for a long time, a lot of people on the left were doing this. They were quick, you know, to, you know, promote cancel culture and cancel this person, cancel that person, dig up old ass tweets from 10 years ago. I mean, they did that to Kevin Hart and so many others. I've done whole videos on cancel culture, and I don't agree with it. Because again, that pendulum always swings both ways. And see, the thing is, He's saying, or no, Stephen A. Smith was saying that, Trump is coming back basically for blood because, a lot of people who were mean to him and said bad things about him, he's coming back, so you need to watch what you say. Understand that eventually if a Democrat gets into office, these same people may also need to watch what they've been saying as well. And that is why you have some on the right, the ones who do commentary, who toe the line. They're very nervous about this because I think Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, a few other people were kind of, even Ben Shapiro's fast talking ass, were speaking up against this because they understand the pendulum can swing both ways. This is why I've never agreed with cancel culture because, again, yes, words carry meaning. Words can cause people, unfortunately, in this day and age to go do stupid shit like that homeless encampment getting shot up. But we also have to understand that, okay, if you don't like somebody's comments who's not inciting violence, right? I'm talking about just regular comments that you disagree with. You don't have to watch them. You don't have to entertain them. It is your choice. If somebody like a Candace Owens offends you, don't watch her. I only watch her when needed. If somebody like a Nick Fuentes offends you, don't watch him. If somebody like who's on the left, like a Don Lemon, offends you, you don't like him, don't watch him. At the end of the day, it is your choice on who you give your energy to. So I can't disagree with some of the stuff that he's saying, to be fair. He's making some good points because there was a lot of celebration when Tucker Carlson and people on the right got fired. I remember when Alex Jones lost his platform. People were celebrating. Oh, good, he's a conspiracy theorist. Get Alex Jones the hell up out of here. And I told folks, don't celebrate Alex Jones getting fired because it could happen to your fave next. And what happened? A few days later, they deplatformed Louis Farrakhan. Minister Louis Farrakhan's Facebook page and everything was deplatformed. And I said, I told you guys, if you're going to celebrate one, understand that pendulum can swing your way. And people were upset when Minister Louis Farrakhan got, deplatformed for hate speech. But y'all were cheering it on when it was Alex Jones. Now, one thing about me, okay? Y'all know I keep receipts and I love a good flashback. So this is the second flashback that we're having today. Let me pull up the video that I did 6 years ago talking about cancel culture, Alex Jones, and Louis Farrakhan. Let's go ahead and just peep this out really quick. So as you see here, it says Louis Farrakhan, Alex Jones, Milo Yiannopoulos, I can never pronounce his name, banned from Facebook, Snoop Dogg goes off. This was 6 years ago when I made this video, okay? So we're going to watch a snippet real quick of what I had to say back then.
They've been working on banning Alex Jones. And I remember when he got banned off of YouTube, a lot of folks were cheering when they were shadow banning him off of YouTube, Twitter, and basically off of social media in general. And a lot of folks were happy. And, that's what he gets. He's a racist. He's this, he's that. He's a conspiracy. He's a fearmonger. And, and I got that. I understood where people were coming from when they were happy. But one thing I kept saying to people is, be careful what y'all celebrate. Because just because you find Alex Jones offensive, he has a huge fan base. He has a lot of people who really support him. And some of your faves have also offended, people, and they have big fan bases. So I'm not surprised at all that Minister Louis Farrakhan was also shadow banned, okay? And that they're saying that he's, he can't be on Facebook, his whole message, everything has to be removed off of Facebook, Instagram, and everything else because he's deemed as a dangerous person. Him along with Alex Jones and Milo. They're all deemed as, dangerous people and the whole InfoWars media outlet and things like that. So a lot of folks are really upset about that. But like I said, I'm not shocked at all because I've been saying it. You can't ban an Alex Jones and then have a Louis Farrakhan because the first thing people are going to say is, well, hey, he said a lot of derogatory things towards whites and Jewish people and everything else, but yet and still you guys are letting him on your platform. You guys are hypocrites. You guys are racist. I knew this would happen. So I'm not surprised at all that they banned the minister, okay?
Clock it. Said the same thing 6 years ago. So now the pendulum is swinging the other way. Again, all of this is nothing but a divide and conquer tactic.
This is really scary. The First Amendment is over. Freedom of speech. Have you seen what the Pentagon is doing? They are ordering reporters to get approval on the information that they can take or give to the press or disseminate. This is censorship dictatorship at its highest. It's ridiculous. We need to stand up and fight. When the First Amendment is gone, freedom of speech, democracy is over. By the way, this is from the Department of Defense, which is now the Department of War. Good Lord.
We have some major news right now. Right-wing commentators are turning on Brendan Carr and Donald Trump for canceling Jimmy Kimmel, from Ben Shapiro to Tucker Carlson to even Senator Ted Cruz from Texas. As you know, Ted Cruz came out and said that Brendan Carr's decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel was that of a mafioso, comparing Trump's FCC chairman to a mob boss. Ben Shapiro said that, well, what will happen when the shoe is on the other foot? Essentially referring to the fact when Democrats inevitably win the White House, will they go after right-wing podcasts like Shapiro's? Tucker Carlson says that Charlie Kirk would have never wanted his death to lead to a crackdown on free speech in America. And those are just the big names. Smaller names across the country are actively rebuking what is happening in the White House right now on the right in a way that we really haven't seen before, because they claim to be free speech absolutists. And while what the administration is doing in pressuring Brendan Carr to pressure ABC and Disney, that's the opposite.
Kimmel show did not get canceled because of the comments he made about Charlie Kirk. It got canceled because nobody is watching that shit. For the last decade, talk shows have been declining in viewership. As a matter of fact, the only thing that's been getting them by is talking about politics. It's just a new generation. Don't nobody want to see Jimmy Kimmel on fucking stage cracking jokes that's not even funny and interviewing celebrities. That whole concept is over. Why do you think all of them talks about politics? Unfortunately, the side that they are on is very liberal and Democrat. And we all know that liberal talk shows just doesn't do good. That is why they're canceling a lot of liberal-led talk shows. Look at Bill Maher. You see how he's transitioning over to a more conservative base? Jimmy Kimmel was supposed to have a renegotiation on contract, and the company basically said it's not profitable. We have kids going into streaming now. Don't nobody want to see y'all asses on a damn talk show talking about a whole bunch of nothing, interviewing celebrities. The fuck we gonna learn from celebrities? It's funny because I seen a post from an actress, Kerry Washington, where she posted a picture of her and Jimmy Kimmel, and she's like, oh, this is my friend, he's my friend, you all silencing my friend. Talking about the guy that played blackface, and we all know the origins of blackface. Their response would be, well, that was a long time ago. So wait a minute, you all perfectly fine with your friends, your liberal friends, doing dumb shit back in the day. We are supposed to accept it. We supposed to forget about it. But when Donald Trump was running for president, you all was bringing up a whole bunch of shit that happened 40, 30, 20 years ago, saying, oh, he's unfit to be president because he did this shit 30, 40, 50 fucking years ago. Man, y'all some double standard ass.
Same people who are throwing a fit talking about free speech because Kimmel got canned are the same people who wanted people fired for not getting vaccinated or talking about COVID, or the same people who would dead name people, or who disagreed with the trans movement, or who spoke up about Christianity or any type of pro-life. But here's the thing, that's free speech. Talking about how you don't agree with something is free speech. What Kimmel did was spread a false narrative that further pushes violence. Not only that, but he joked about a current assassination. Like, this is not a historical thing. The dust had not even settled, and he was joking about an assassination. So the private company, ABC, has the right to say, you know what? That's not a good look. You don't bring in enough money for us to take the risk. You are done. And people who are getting fired for celebrating it on their social medias, your company has the right to say, we don't want that representing our company. We don't want people who celebrate death in any way, shape, or form representing our company. So you have free speech. You can go on the corner of a random street with a big sign. You can mock Charlie Kirk all you want to. That is free speech. But that doesn't exclude you from consequences of the real world, of a capitalist world, capitalist country. We make money. So when you're being hateful, that doesn't bring in money, honey.
Who knew that a video of me canceling my Disney trip, getting my money back, choosing not to spend my money on a cruise would go viral? Now, to the people who, left positive comments, I hope you have an amazing day today. To the people that took their time to leave rude and nasty comments, and I mean, the comments are crazy. Everything from, oh, I'm ruining my child's experience, to, oh, good, now I can go. Which I don't care about that. Okay, if you want to go, because I don't care. Somebody was like, thanks for helping MAGA. Okay, if that's what you think it's about, like, this is my thing. The fact that what I choose to do with my money and my vacation and my family bothers you so much really says something about you. For the record, I've been to over like 25 countries. My child's passport is stamped up. I don't really need the Disney cruise. Happy Saturday.
If we're supposed to be boycotting Hulu and Disney Plus, what am I supposed to do? Go back to basic cable? Like, I'm down for the cause, trust and believe. But I need a substitution first before I just quit cold turkey.
Man, shut your bitch ass up.
Damn.
But this is a good conversation to have. Protests and boycotts are not supposed to be comfortable.
Oh my
because
God.
we are not comfortable, right? We're watching the government dictate who can say what, right? Our freedom of speech is under attack. The government is stepping in and saying, hey, we're going to take away licensing, and Disney is rolling over for that, right? So, and even so, you're even seeing, there was one lady, I'm gonna show the video, there's one lady who shows that as you're canceling your subscription, they are trying to give you a better deal. I think it's like $2.99 for 6 months, which basically we're halfway through the year. So basically you're going to get $2.99 going into next year. You get what I'm saying? And that lets me know a couple things. Number one, they don't have to account for inflation. Because if they had to account for inflation, why would you offer me $2.99? Why would you offer me that low? And then after that 6 months, it goes up to, I think, $9.99. And I think it's at $10.99 right now. So what you're seeing in the midst of this is that people are greedy. These people are greedy. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing greed. And it took a boycott to show that these people are absolutely greedy when it comes to the services and things of that nature.
If we're
He's basically saying, bruh, Tubi is free. YouTube is free for now with a bunch of ads. So he made some really good points.
We're doing such a great job canceling Disney and Hulu. Y'all, look, the cancellation page crashed on Disney Plus.
Damn.
This is great. This is fantastic. Someone else said that they took away the comment box, because I know my husband last night, he said they asked him why, and he hit other and wrote in the box, I'm canceling because you all canceled Jimmy Kimmel. Y'all, keep up the good work. We know this is the only way they respond. And this is right now really, this is a way for us to truly use our voice through our wallet to let them know,
So I'm on Hulu attempting to cancel my subscription, right? I'm on hulu.com/account, and I scroll to the bottom and I find cancel your subscription at the bottom of the page. I click that. Let's see what happens.
Oh.
What? Oh, it brought me back to the top of the page. Now, what on earth would they do that? So what you're going to do, you are going to go ahead and just type it in yourself like we're back in the caveman days and hit cancel. Okay, you're going to type in cancel and then select that, right? And then the next page that we should be on is the cancel page. You're welcome.
So I just canceled my Disney Plus subscription, and I want to walk you through what happened because they've made it more difficult to cancel. There's no cancellation button on the immediate page anymore. Now you have to log in and then choose a specific profile and then go into the settings and then hit cancel, and then this happens. First they ask you, are you sure you want to cancel? Here's a subsidized rate, or alternatively, here's a way for you to pause the subscription for a couple of months. When you say you still want to cancel, then they give you another retention page, and they remind you of all the shows and movies that you'll be missing out on if you cancel your Disney Plus account.
Damn.
And then when you say, no, I still want to cancel, then it takes you to yet a third retention page, still asking you to reconsider, And then if you really want to cancel, to give the reason why you want to cancel. And that's why I told them very quickly and briefly that I don't want my hard-earned money to go to fascists who are anti-free speech. And then finally, when they let you cancel, they remind you that you still have the subscription for several more weeks, and they want you to reactivate the account. Early reports are that Disney stock has already plunged 7% in light of firing Jimmy Kimmel. Guys, at the end of the day, canceling Disney Plus is not going to stop fascism by itself, but it sends a message to these billion-dollar corporations that we are paying attention and that we will not tolerate this kind of fascism. And finally, I will say, if you have the capacity to transfer those funds to independent journalists, to activists, to people actually speaking truth to power, subscribe to them. Let's create a future by investing in people actually committed to justice and human rights, not those corporations capitulating to fascism.
Cancel. Hey, hold on, man. Don't cancel, man. Listen to me. Okay, you got, hold on, man. Hold on. Okay, you got the $20 package, okay? Ad free. Okay, what if we throw that in, like, just give you half off, like $10 for like about a week or so? What about that? You don't like that? Okay, what if we get the $5 for the rest of the month, man? $5 on us, man. Matter of fact, we'll give it to you for free, man. Don't cancel. Just don't cancel, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you thinking about it, man. You want to cancel? Come on, man. Don't do it. Man, Cole, okay. Listen to me. You like dirty movies? You see that? Huh? we ain't supposed to do that shit, but you like dirty movies? You keep some dirty movies, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you like big asses and stuff, man. But I'm telling you something, man. We'll throw that in.
Hey everybody, so I found out that there's a protest at Disney headquarters and I'm going because anger into action.
There's a protest at the Disney headquarters. Folks are not playing. It is getting real, y'all.
Right, let's see what it's like. There's a person ahead of me just walking with a sign, obviously to the same protest, that just says, "Fuck this shit." Perfect. Oh my god, you guys, this is amazing! Hi, thank you! Okay, wait, I gotta show you this whole crowd. This is so good. I'm walking all the way down to the end so you can see. Protest that was just thrown together last night. Look at all those people! And look over here, more of them. Look at that. Hey, Walt Disney, this is what democracy looks like.
Hey, I just canceled my Disney Plus and Hulu subscriptions. And they asked me why I hit other, and I wrote, because I believe in the First Amendment, reinstate Jimmy Kimmel. Now, my whole family is really gonna miss Abbott Elementary. We are really gonna miss Only Murders in the Building. But you know what? We would miss the First Amendment a whole lot more. Don't go to the theme parks. Don't go on the cruises. Cancel your subscriptions. Now.
Nah, don't cancel it now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, people are now canceling their Disney Plus subscription because Jimmy Kimmel got fired for what he said on his show about MAGA. And apparently so many people are canceling their subscription that it's not even letting people log in to cancel their subscription anymore. But I want to know where that same energy was when Lovelyti decided to go into the women's restroom at Disney. Because y'all didn't care then. It's only a problem when a celebrity gets canceled for stupid shit that they say. But fuck the privacy of women. Nah, that's not a big issue. Do y'all see how absolutely fucked that sounds? That's literally saying the safety of women and children is less important than a talk show host, which is very, very concerning. And before y'all start screaming, oh, First Amendment, correct. He used his First Amendment, and the company saw that as a threat to their company. So they used their right as a company to let that person go. So if you haven't seen this, go look it up. If you have seen it, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
I just canceled my Disney Plus subscription, my ESPN subscription, Paramount Plus, and Hulu. Let me know if there's any others that I'm missing so that I can go ahead and cancel those too. As a family of 5, we were planning on going on a Disney vacation at the end of the year, and those plans have now been canceled. We are going on a different type of vacation. I have seen so many videos on my For You page of so many people saying that they canceled. A lot of people also had vacations planned and they canceled those too. Between yesterday and today, millions of people in the US and Canada have already canceled. And the Disney website was so overwhelmed yesterday that every time I try to cancel, it kept crashing. Disney was not equipped for the influx of cancellations. And last I checked, Disney stock went down significantly. So clearly the boycott is working.
So they're saying liberals are canceling Disney and won't be going anymore. Now I can confidently say it will really be the most magical place on earth. Okay.
Ain't no way you getting mad at me because I'm canceling my shit. My subscription? Bitch, I got the $8.99. I'm paying for it. You feel me? So if I want to cancel it today, it's going to get canceled today. If you got more to say, I will cancel you too, bitch. Leave me the fuck alone. It's my shit.
All right, y'all. So those are just some of the videos. It's a lot going on right now on TikTok. Let me say this before I go. You know, I believe in freedom of speech, but we are definitely towing the line in this day and age with this presidency. Seems like a lot of things, unfortunately, are getting shut down based on feelings and nothing else. My issue is with this whole Jimmy Kimmel cancellation is everybody's looking at the celebrity, you know, because he's the face of the show. But people are not looking at the people who actually run the show, the people, the lighting techs, the grips, the graphers, the showrunners, the crafty service people. You know, when they canceled his show, hundreds of people who are tied to the show, the people on the back end, the people who get it, you know, who keep it running, they also lost their jobs. So you have a lot of people who are out of work that were tied to that show. But, you know, of course, it's the celebrity factor of it because it's not only affecting the billionaires' pockets. See, they don't care. They can lower the price to $2.99 to still entice you. But what about those cruise workers on the ship who are getting paid minimum wage? What about the customer service reps who are answering the 1-800 numbers at Disney who are getting paid, you know, whatever they're getting paid? Their jobs will be affected too because of decisions coming from the White House. That's really what it is. And that's why I say, like, you know, if we're going to be on this freedom of speech, we got to be on it all the way, even when it's speech that we don't like, because that pendulum can always swing. Jimmy was making fun of Tucker Carlson when Tucker Carlson got fired.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson after all these years. They are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means.
That is fact. You know, so again, and now he's being fired. So now the right is gloating. It's like the divisiveness in this country, it's at this point, it's just nauseating, the divide. Because while the people down here who are middle class and poor are fighting and, you know, right versus left and left versus right, while they're down here duking it out in the real world with violence on social media, the back and forth, the energy, the people who are pulling the puppet strings who are good either way are the billionaires. They're good. They're set. So I just want to leave y'all with that. But thank you guys for watching. Please leave a comment down below. Feel free to share this video. I look forward to reading y'all's comments and knowing what you guys think about, you know, everything that's going on right now with freedom of speech. So I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.